video games are art?
Oh yes, they are. Video games are art, and they are absolutely part of the collection of the Museum of Modern Art. And we have been looking at interaction design as one of the most important forms of creative expression today, because it's so much part of our life. The whole idea when we founded the museum was that the museum was going to be about the art of our time. That goes without saying that the museum and the collection evolve with the evolution of society and the evolution of culture. And in the past 30 years, interaction design has been so important for us. It is the relationship between people and screens and machines.
What would you say to my parents who would say, that's not art, art is Picasso or Pollock or Monet?
I would tell them that if only Picasso, Monet and Pollock were art, we'd be in dire straits, because there wouldn't be art in our lives, and instead art is everywhere, including in video games. And our job is to educate our public.
When you first bring this idea into the museum community, the people who decide what will be acquired, was there pushback?
There always is a pushback, but I have to say that the enthusiasm that we have encountered was amazing, not only inside the museum but also outside. We expected a lot of criticism, and we got some, but most of it was constructive and engaging.
What are the games that you focused on? You want to bring in 40 games, but you have 14 so far.
Well, you know, MoMA proceeds in its own time. We do things really carefully and in depth. So it took us a year and a half to get to a wish list of 40 games. Amongst them are Tetris, for instance, the original version, the original Soviet version, Pac-Man, SimCity 2000, The Sims, EVE Online, Dwarf Fortress. So it's very mixed. You have some great popular successes and some kind of sleepers.
Pac-Man, from your sort of art historical perspective, why is that necessary to be here?
Because of this sensation, of this depth on the 2D maze. Of course, it was a great popular success, but popularity was not our first criteria. Truly, what you felt in Pac-Man was a new type of space, and that's why we acquired it as a milestone.
Which is your favorite of the games if you had an hour to just play? Which one would you pick?
I have one favorite because I love the music so much, and that's Vib Ribbon. It was a game that was based on music, so you could use your own CD, you could pick the music that you wanted, and then the game would adapt in speed and rhythm to the music you chose. But the original music it could be sampled by Jay-Z in a second. It reminds me of Hard Knock Life. And it's haunting, and the game is beautiful.
I'm talking about first-person shooters. Huge part of the gaming experience. Is MoMA taking the position of we're not doing that?
Yes, we're taking a position. It's not necessarily a moralist position. We just don't find the kind of gratuitous violence interesting enough as an interaction.
I can feel why The Sims in SimCity is important, right? Because it's beautiful and it is immersive, right? And it's sort of, you become part of the space, but you are the god of the space.
SimCity and The Sims are really deeply philosophical games, because, you know, in games there's something called God mode, when you can do whatever you want. But SimCity is a very limited kind of God, because you can set the parameters for your city, but then they behave according to their own ways of behaving. You can set some directions, but then you're not completely in control.
Tell me about Passage.
Passage is a really interesting game. It is highly pixelated, quite beautiful, aesthetically a little retro. It lasts 5 minutes. In 5 minutes you go from being born to dying. You know, you go through life and you have to make choices. You can choose whether to have a partner or not. If you choose to have a partner, life is easier, fewer obstacles, but you die sooner. And instead, if you choose not to have a partner, it's a little harder, but you die afterward. You don't have a second life, beginning and finish. There's also your little tombstone.